Masters, to all the masters here. Today we shall, bow to the feet of Sai, then proceed with today's class. Thank you so much. Last week we saw, what is self-love, selfless love, then how, Mr. Shreth brings in his cousin, to ask his future. And the cousin boy is very young at age, and he is about to die. So we saw what solutions Baba gives to the boy, that is 40 days of prayers. Then he tells to transfer all his money, whatever he has earned, into the name of the girl he is in love with. So that is what the solution Baba has given. Today we shall see the, Baba says that Rudra has been chosen as a medium. Now we'll see who are these medium. And here the explanation is given very beautifully. So Baba is explaining the Ramayana, the book that contains the life of Lord Rama and his philosophy, was written by Valmiki. Who was Valmiki? He was a dacoit, isn't it? We all know the story that Valmiki, before becoming the sage, he was a dacoit. One day he realized and embraced the God within him and turned into a sage. Now, do you think it is this reformed dacoit who really wrote the Ramayana? Or was he used as a channel for the Holy Spirit to enter and pen the script? Prophet Muhammad was known to neither write or read. Have you read the Holy Quran? It is sublime. It preaches peace and is a vast outpouring of gratitude to the Maker. All the sages and prophets allowed themselves to be used as vessels to carry the word of the Lord to the people for thousands of generations. Of course, the vessel has to be strong to be able to carry the weight of the holy word. The vessel has to be empty of all that is not pure. The vessel has to be clean to preserve the sanctity of holy word. Every holy book preaches one to pray and meditate, preaches one to be content and at peace with the plans of the Maker. Because when you pray and meditate and are at peace and content with your Lord and Master, then you allow yourself to be a vessel or a medium or the instrument for the Holy Spirit to enter you. Through you, the Holy Spirit touches the lives of innumerable people. Through you, Holy Spirit guides and predicts. Through you, Holy Spirit helps not only those on the physical plane, but also those in the spirit plane. Son, channeling is as old as creation. You must have read in most holy books how animals and birds and fish have come to the rescue of noble ones. Those times the Holy Spirit has used them, the animals, birds, fish, as vessels to carry out the holy work. The stronger and the cleaner and purer the individual, the more powerful and clear he or she becomes as a vessel or an instrument to carry the holy word and be filled with the Holy Spirit. It is the birthright of every living organism to become the medium and vessel for the Lord above. We all are instruments, but instruments and vessels of what is something that is left to the discretion of each individual. So Baba says, how God chooses us to be a medium. Now he is explaining the types of medium. There are many types. You might become a very noble human being who will be ready to help and serve mankind through any given means. You might become a medium of charity. You might become a medium to fight for the weak. You might become a vessel for organizing aid for those who desperately need it. The Holy Spirit might use you to develop a medicine that will benefit millions of people. You might be used to fight cases free of cost for those innocent too poor to afford an excellent lawyer. You might all of a sudden begin to feed the poor or serve animals. You might compose music or write a book or direct a movie that will inspire people to become better or wiser and more compassionate human beings. Son, you might be used to simply become a better persona and inspire all those who come in contact with you to become better human beings. Yes, you might be used as a healer, a psychic medium, a champion for the disabled, a warrior for the damned. Oh, my son, your life will be no longer yours. So, you might be used for a particular cause or for all these things at one time. Let your master decide what the vessel should carry. Let your master decide what tune the instrument should play. Let your master fill you up with whatever rhythm you should dance to. Well, we have decided that you shall be used to guide people in working out their karma. So be it. Ravli ma'am, hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me, masters?
Yes.
Yes, we
Uh,
can.
yeah, can you just give me few minutes? My daughter has got up. I'll just,
Sure,
take 2 minutes. I'll
sure.
shift my
Please,
place. Thank you so much.
please
Sorry,
carry on.
yeah.
No worries.
Sorry for the trouble. So, Baba is explaining to us here beautifully that, how we can become a medium. It is not only, hello, masters, can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the response. So, Baba says, so it is not only by, passing the message of the God, by, choosing to do all this work. That is, you can be chosen to do some good work. For example, so many during the Corona crisis, so many people, did so many things. That is one of my college batchmate. He and his group, they formed a group, and I think nearly for 1 year he stayed out of his house to cater to this cause. He would just pick up the dead bodies, know their religion, then do the cremation accordingly. If they were Hindu, he would do it accordingly. So, like that, 5,000 dead bodies he cremated during the peak of Corona. Can you just believe? And he didn't stop there. And when the Corona, they just opened after 2 years, for the workers to move to their house, to their places. When the government opened channels like trains, everything, this fellow even jumped there. He took this opportunity, and he would go help supply food to those who were traveling to their native places. So we are so proud. Recently, he was awarded and recognized by the government of India. So he and his team, he's Tanvir. My gratitude to him. So many people do so many things. So you can be chosen to do such things. That is what Baba is saying. You may become a healer, a psychic, a healer, or you can, you can even cater to, serving food to the poor. So these, like this, you may be chosen. That is what Baba is saying. And here it says, work and live to annihilate your little petty ego and bask in the glory and presence of your master, God and goddesses. So how you should, pray to God. Usually we hear the individual saying, God is great, I was saved, or not one member of my family came to harm. Would God not be great if the individual or a family member would have come to harm? I have heard people saying, my master's hand was on my head, thus nothing happened to me. Does that mean those who were injured did not have their master's hand and blessings on their head? So that is wrong way, he says. Everyone, because they had chosen their plans were different, maybe. So everyone has the hand of God. God is impartial. Now, actually, Rudra is making soup for Baba. And when Baba drinks this soup, very tauntingly and very, in a nice way, Baba is, just complimenting the soup that he has made. Son, it takes talent to make such ghastly soup. Give me more of it, please. Saying this, the old man smiled, and Rudra, like a child, beamed with happiness. Baba would always tease Rudra whenever he made something. Next, here Baba is trying to answer to Rudra's question. Rudra has asked Baba what is happening to him and why is he predicting somebody else's futures. So here Baba is explaining that you are wondering what is happening to you, how all of a sudden you have begun to predict things and see into the future. What is going on? You wonder? Are you really becoming a dervish or a medium? Or is all this just some subconscious play taking place? Worst of all, you have begun to doubt your credibility and integrity by assuming you're fooling people by playing on their gullibility. But the fact of the matter remains that neither your subconscious mind or your intelligence or your heightened sense of perception and reception, where vibration is concerned, could have allowed you to be so accurate and see so clearly into the future. You know this, but unwilling to accept the truth, as the truth goes against all that which you have been taught by a society that is constipated with superstitious beliefs and narrow minded self centeredness. So, Baba is saying, and explaining to Rudra what is really happening with Rudra. He is saying, you're thinking you have gone mad. So don't assume all those things. That is what Baba is trying to say. So the great Fakir, who the world calls Ahura Ram, God Allah, Durga, sees first and foremost intentions and then efforts. Success is very karmic, my child. It has nothing to do with ability, intelligence, or performance. You may be the finest actor or sports person, but you need the break, you need the platform, you need the backing, you need the publicity, and most important of all, you need to have success in your karmic blueprint. It all boils down to that. But God does not see all this. He sees your intentions, your love, your sacrifice, your efforts. Remember, eventually you will be granted success in this life or another. Success will be yours. The important thing is intention. Why does a doctor keep awake day and night watching over a patient? Is it professional duty? Is it because of the burning need to fight illness? Is it money? Is it because of personal ego to always have a 100% success rate? Is it for the fear of failure? Is it to serve and treat each patient as family? Is it to impress one's colleagues? So all this he's saying. So don't worry. You may not. So so he says only intentions matter, and that's how you have been chosen. That is what Baba is telling and explaining to Rudra. So beautifully, this para is given here. Those who serve their masters are served 1,000,000 times more by their masters. Look, masters, please pay attention. Those who serve their masters are served 1,000,000 times more by their masters. You serve first and foremost by being a decent human being. You serve by not harming others and by not gossiping and plotting and trying to create sadness and an environment of hate and pain. You serve by not alleging and trying to break families. Yes, you also serve by being a medium, by doing social work, by being generous, by lending a helping hand, by reaching out to the unfortunate or the unprivileged, by praying for peace, health, for those who are in need for peace and health, for meditating for world peace, for feeding the hungry, clothing those in need, and providing shelter to the homeless. There are 1,000,000 ways to serve God, goddesses, and your master, but always remember your master sees and appreciates and serves you back 1,000,000 times more. So Baba is saying, you need not have to have a lot of money to do all this. All that is needed is your intentions. So that is what Baba is explaining. You want to give you want to give a gift to your master, then give your master your very soul. And you know what is the essence of the soul? It is nothing but the faith. Faith is the heartbeat that keeps the soul pure and intact in its original glory, despite having been put through lifetimes of depravity and darkness. Faith keeps God from pulling the plug off from creation. Love and faith are two sides of eternity. So beautifully, Baba has said, what is needed, masters? The unchanging faith. That is what your master needs, nothing more than that. So, so beautifully, Baba has explained here. Now, Baba explains how a person who is chosen as a medium or a channel should be. Okay. There are a few things one must never forget on one's journey as a medium. Most important, you are the instrument, a vessel wherein divine light and energy flows into and flows through. All the miracles that take place through the medium are because of the master and the divine plan. The medium or channel is just what these words denote, an instrument or a vessel. Whether you are a medium for healing or predictions, the medium should never forget that he or she is not the doer. See, masters, just by today, if I do one good work, I feel so elated. I start boosting myself. I did this. I am like this. I help those people. So it is very important here. It is said that he is not the doer actually. We feel we are the doer, but we are not doer, but just the channel through which the healing or prediction are taking place. Of course, for perfect clarity and purity in healing and predictions, the medium should be in perfect sync with the master and the master's energy. The fluid should be clean and none of its 7 holes should be blocked, but should be in perfect shape, vibration, color, speed, and depth for the breath of the master to flow through and divine music to flow out. Thus, it is very important. In fact, it is crucial that medium is always empty of everything but the breath of God. The medium is filled only with the master's energy. The mind is empty of the ego, but throbbing with divine name. It is when these conditions exist that divine music flows through, uninterrupted, clear, and in perfect melody. You are like the piano. Divine energy is the music, the master, the greatest musician. So it is the master who is the musician, not us. We think it is all us. Not for a moment should the piano take a credit for the phenomenal music that is created and which flows through it, for it is the musician that is responsible for the melody. But only one, okay, sorry. There are thousands of pianos, but only one musician. But yes, the piano must be in tune. The instrument must be in shape with all chords intact, neither too loose nor too rigid, not too tight. For if the piano is not in perfect shape, the divine melody will never come through the way it is supposed to. For the simple reason the piano is flawed. So, my son, it is imperative and mandatory that the medium should be devoid of self but saturated with divine energy. So, Baba is explaining what is importance to be a medium. So, what is important? It is only being divine. Now, Rudra questions Baba. See, I drink, I smoke, I eat non-veg, I'm doing all of this, and how am I divine? So this is a question from Rudra. But Baba, how can one be filled with divine energy all the time? So he's asking, how should I be filled with divine energy? Also, Baba, one is not channeling every moment of the day. Thus, why is there a need to be devoid of the self all the time? So Baba starts explaining how to be filled with divine energy. So masters, this is for all of us. Just pay attention. My son, let us first discuss the ways of being filled with divine energy all the time. You know, my boy, you who make the worst tea and soap in the universe are already filled with divine energy most of the day. No, I am not. Most of the time, I'm hurting within. He is because he's thinking of his children most of the time. It is, he's thinking at times about what happened in his life. So I'm hurting myself, he says. So Baba says now, whoever told you that if you are filled with divine energy, you cease to feel pain of body, heart and mind. Every prophet and child of God has gone through more mental, physical, spiritual anguish than the common man. They have wrestled with dilemmas of the soul and been anguished over the plight of mankind. They have been ridiculed and tormented, and they have had their doubts and their moments of darkness and depression, all the while filled with divine energy. What is the meaning of being filled with divine energy? Do you think it is something out of Universal Studios where the sky will open and celestial beings will shower your thick head with fragrant flowers, or angels will swoon down and play the harp for you? My boy, being filled with divine energy means being connected to the live wire through which flows the life force, which has all the answers and all the questions, which helps you to dispel darkness and bring light to those who really need it. Being filled with divine energy means being released by your ego and being free of your own self. Did you understand, Masters? So beautiful it is said here. The moment you are free of your ego, I-ness, then it is the way for being filled with divine energy. As I told you before, in your soul, there is a place for only one being. There is place for only one alphabet, either I or you. Your soul can only accommodate one. I stands for the individual ego that is trapped with conflicting desires, self-centeredness, and petty inhibitions and grandiose deceits. U stands for God. U stands for thou. So, my child, who wants to die but hasn't yet figured out a way to live? What does your soul throb with? Yourself or godliness? You, my boy, hurt and ache for the loss of your children, the anguish of being maligned, the desperation of being hunted and ruined, the lack of freedom to exhale in peace. But my son, if I were to cut my own arm now, it is going to hurt and it is going to bleed. However, spiritually up there, I may be, however, filled with divine energy. If I let the rules of Mother Earth play their course, then I'm going to hurt and bleed. Yes, if I manipulate the rules or if I use divine powers, then I shall not hurt, not bleed. Have 25 books and movies made on the incident, which is pure manipulation of energy and vibrations, has nothing to do with spirituality. There is no magic in fish swimming in the water and birds flying and human beings conversing and discriminating. They are simply following certain laws of the earth. So, my boy, you do hurt and yet you are filled with divine energy. For your mind, when not absorbed in the moment, is free of the self. When you are not in the moment, you are taking Sai Baba's name. You are taking Meher Baba's name. You are chanting a mantra. You are looking at the flame and thinking of me. You are praying to Devi. You chant Islamic prayers. You don't think and plan and hate and want to get back in violent or negative manner at your distraction. So here Baba is saying, you are not thinking negative about whoever has caused you pain, hurt, etc. So that is why you are divine. You're not thinking most of the time about yourself, but you are thinking about, or praying for other God. And beautifully Baba has said, because Rudra is again and again saying that he is hurt within. So Baba explains how one should not be a victim. Nobody is a victim. There are no preys and no hunters. Fill yourself with God and selfless love, and you shall be the shadow of God. Fill yourself with fill yourself with more creator, and after a while you will merge in God. Fill yourself further with the maker, and the time shall come when you too shall become God, as there shall be no difference between you and your maker. Like the waves in the ocean, you too shall become the ocean itself. So beautifully it is said. We always, try to victimize ourselves for our failures. But Baba says it is not the way. You don't have to do that. Now, next. But if a person was consumed with, and instead Baba says here, when Rudra is saying that I am always caught up in my own. So Baba is saying, but if a person was consumed with anger and rage, then after death, the mental, emotional, spiritual angst and anger and negativity would still be carried over. The person will have to make an effort to let go of the negativity. If he or she doesn't, then the soul can be earthbound. The person would be neither at peace in the spiritual plane nor at peace on earth. An extremely unpleasant situation to be in, until the anger and negativity is not converted to love and compassion, the soul remains in a limbo. By limbo, we mean a state of stagnation, and it rots. So beautiful it is said, masters. See how important. See what happens is, I have heard my and my grandma and all saying, your how you're feeling the at the moment when you're living your body is so important. It is so very important to cleanse ourselves with all this negativity. Otherwise we'll be like Trishanku, we'll be neither in the spiritual realms nor on the earth plane. So we'll be in a Trishanku mode. We have all heard about Trishanku, in between. So it is so important to cleanse up all the negativity, this anger, this hate or jealousy, whatever you are carrying, let go of it, cleanse yourself. Then you'll be at peace, either there, wherever you are, in the spiritual plane or on earth. Otherwise, your soul will rot. That is what such a beautiful and enormous message today by Baba. So very beautifully explained here. And also Baba says, the greatest myth is that the death puts an end to all suffering. Yes, death puts an end to all suffering related with body and circumstances. See, only for physical body, it is death. Only whatever you're feeling, whatever your emotions are, all that will be carried out with yourself. So it is good to have, cleanse all the negativity. And now Baba is explaining about karmic cleansing. Baba turned towards Rudra, who walked with his head held high, observing the hazy horizon. He loved this battered man who all his life had wished nobody harm, and who still loved all those who had turned bitter and negative towards him. Baba sighed. He was aware that sometimes to serve the poor and the needy and be able to paint a grander picture on a very sizable canvas that would inspire and embrace humanity, one had to go through the shedding off lifetimes of karma at a pace that left the soul breathless and wrenched from its very foundations. The cleansing was done so swiftly that it left the person whirling about numb and dazed. When the dust settled, either you loved God or hated the Creator or just did not believe in his or her existence. Either you became calm and steady with the realization that this was karmic cleansing, and it hurt like the Dickens, but it was for the larger good, not only for your larger good, but for the larger good of all, or you became negative and cynical and felt betrayed and turned your back on God for having deserted you when you needed the old chap the most. Either it results in positive surrender and graceful acceptance, or everything metamorphoses into anger, hate, self pity, and darkness. Both the ways you hurt, the difference is the source of spring from which the pain gushes through. That makes all the difference, not only to one state of mind, but also to one state of spirituality. For if you can accept the Lord's will with grace, then you move on to the next level. It only validates the belief that God gives each of us a cross to bear, knowing well that you have the capacity to lift it up and not be crushed by it. So beautifully it is said, Masters. Can you believe? Baba is saying, how much ever we are able or capable of, only that much cross or burdens are given to us, Masters. But we always think it is I who is having more, isn't it? So that is what Baba is saying. You will not be crushed, you know. So all this karmic, to cleansing, you have to bear that cross. So it is explained why it is important to carry this cross. Every step of your life, there are choices. Every choice you make and the manner in which you make it and carry it out decides your growth and journey towards light or further slide into very soul numbing darkness. It is never too late, but every time we delay our growth, the soul weeps, knowing that it shall take the much longer for the spark to merge with the flame. the flame of everlasting peace and happiness, and most of all, everlasting bliss. The soul longs for that eternal flame. It longs for that blissful ocean, and every step forward takes the soul towards it. And every step backward takes the soul to the void of darkness and everlasting guilt, hate, and perpetual conflict of all negative emotions brewing at one time, but for all eternity. The soul dreads the dark void, where for all eternity the soul carries guilt, hate, anger, lust, greed, doubt, and worst of all, eternal unrest and frustration. See, masters, it is so beautifully said. We have the choice. We have two choices. Either we accept this cross happily, thinking that this is my karmic balance, let me get rid of it happily and move forward, or else I develop hate, anger, greed, which will not allow my soul to ascend. It will weep, and it will take longer time, many more lifetimes to cleanse. The soul dreads this darkness. It thus seeks to travel towards the eternal flame. It yearns to travel towards the light. But the individual is so engrossed in petty games and immediate gratifications that it mistakes the false gutter for the great light. It mistakes the mirage for the ocean. All the while traveling at the soul wrenching speed backwards towards darkness, towards eternal void. So beautifully, it is explained here, masters. Also, Baba says about suicide. Here it is said, suicide is of no use. If you think you are miserable now, you have no idea how miserable you are going to be after your soul is forced to leave its body by the act of suicide. So it is not the end. Okay, that is what Baba says. For the soul, all it takes is a pure thought, and he or she will be with you. But by constantly grieving, you are chaining your son and your loved one. Don't. It's hell, or should I say, it's worse than hell. Hell is nothing but a state of mind. Why make your loved one go through such a state of mind filled with grief, anger, and helplessness? See, what happens is when somebody passes, we always, tend to grieve a lot. We start crying so much, remembering this and that. So, Baba is saying, let go. All of us have come to leave this body today or someday, isn't it? That person's day was today. So let him go, with peace. Don't cling on. That is what it is given here. Now Baba is saying to Rudra, I have eaten every meal with you as you have always offered me the first meal before putting a morsel in your mouth. I have seen all the fascinating sunrises and sunsets with you as you asked me to be present with you. Each time the sun did its illusionary dance. So now Baba is explaining a very, very, very important topic. It is about why we must light a diya or lamp. In our Indian tradition, all of us know, as we take bath, we get fresh, we light a diya in the puja room, isn't it? Or wherever we have placed our God. So Baba is explaining a very essential essence of lighting the lamp. Why one must lamp? It is sad house that doesn't have a flame burning, my son. Okay. Yes, Ravli ma'am. Sure. Thank you. It is sad house that doesn't have a flame burning, my son. If not for 24 hours, a candle or oil lamp should be burned at least twice a day, once in the morning and once at sunset or at night. That is at least one can do for one's family and one's soul. Fire is creation. Masters, please pay attention. Very beautifully it is explained here. Fire is creation. Fire is the physical manifestation of the divine. It is what the Zoroastrians call the Son of God. Fire not only warms, but most importantly, it gives light. It dispels darkness. physically and metamorphically, dispelling darkness, spreading light, and giving warmth is the essence of fire. Light a candle or a diya and keep it in your sight and trust me, you will never feel alone. See, most of us, at the end of the day, when the children leave, husbands go to work, everybody is engaged, the ladies at home, we feel very, very lonely, isn't it? This is the best Baba says, just light a lamp and sit in, looking at it. You'll never feel alone. Fire is the shadow of God. You look deep into fire and you glimpse the God. Means once you look into the flame, you will be able to see God itself. The very human civilization dawned when mankind learned how to make fire. Till that moment, mankind dwelled in the dark ages. It was fire that differentiated man from beast. It was fire that evolved man to his present form. It was fire that allowed mankind to even think of inventing a wheel. So, sun, controlled fire is enlightening and allows mankind to survive. How can we allow fire to help us and guide us and protect us? See, here, this we use actually in counseling also whenever people are feeling fearful about some things, you know. So this is the best method Baba has described here. How you can take protection from this fire. How can we make the external fire help the internal fire within us? Whatever we are fighting within us, how can we address it? Well, fire meditation is the oldest form of all meditations. It is also one of the easiest and most rewarding forms of connecting with the great Fakir, our creator. When you light a lamp or candle, you automatically sanctify the place. The important thing to do is light a diya with prayers on your lips and in your heart. Request a fire that you have just lit to dispel darkness from your life and from the lives of your loved ones. Request the fire to spread the light of God in your lives and fill it with warmth of God's breath. Thus, every time you light a candle or a diya, a prayer to dispel darkness, physically, metamorphically, should be said. It is important. Your prayer gives a direction to the fire, and the intensity of your prayer gives energy to the fire to do as directed. When you do this, the fire takes on a different intensity and proportion. Fire is used to light a cigarette and also burn down a house. By praying to the fire, you are sanctifying the process. And just as you have holy water, you have created, energized the holy fire. So why is it important to pray while we are, lighting? Prayer means all you have to say is, please, dispel the darkness of my loved ones or from my house or from within, whatever you're saying. So when you do that, you will energize it in a proper way. You can do the same thing while lighting an incense stick. Pray that the fragrance from the incense stick is filled with the breath of God wherever the fragrance goes, and whosoever it caresses, that being too is touched by God and is blessed with a life that is full of fragrance and sweetness of God. So beautifully it is said, Masters. We so blindly do all these rituals which are given to us readily by our ancestors. Just do this with all these intentions henceforth. Pray that the fragrance, that the smoke from the incense stick cleanse all that which is negative and impure in the air, in the surroundings, and mainly within all those who inhale the fragrance. By doing this, you are giving energy and direction for only purity and godliness to prevail, not only in the lives and minds of those touched by the light and fragrance, but also in the area where the flame is lit and incense burns. When you do this, you not only help those in the physical plane, but also help earthborn spirits to think more clearly and move on in their spiritual journey. See, by doing only this much, changing your thought towards lighting a diya, you're doing so much for the humanity, Masters. All this is possible by just lighting the diya and the incense stick and chanting a small prayer, but by fueling the prayer with intense energy and love. Yes, all this is possible. Now you are going to ask me how a person can help himself or herself with fire meditation. So now, very beautifully, it is explained about meditation of fire meditation. So listen properly, whenever you're low, masters, take it from me. This is experimented by me. This will really help. You are just impossible. You know my thoughts and you know my questions, and I guess even know my answers. Rudra is saying, before I ask anything, you're telling Baba. I am swimming in the same current as the maker. In that current, there are no secrets, no past, no future, just the present. And all is clear, and there are no more mysteries. That is why be in prayer and be in the present and connect with this stream of vibrations, and you too will be able to tap whatever you want to know about whatever there is to know. Connect your antenna properly. The show is on all the time. Okay, now your question that you asked, which you thought, though, and that thus it has your energy. And question is, how can one benefit from fire meditation? Very funny, Mama. Baba, getting it. Would your lordship want something else too? Son, you have given me your very soul. Do to do what you think I deem fit. So for now, just what I will do. Rudra sighed and Baba has asked for water, so he gives and he drinks. Now Baba is saying, he started explaining here. This is a process to sit for fire meditation, masters. Light a candle or a diya, preferably wherever you do your prayers at home. It could be a small temple or an altar or a bookshelf or whatever. Make sure there is sanctity in and around the place. It need not be fancy, but it should be clean and the environment around it should be appropriate. Season. A lot of families live in one room. That room is bedroom, drawing room, dining room, and study room, all rolled into one. Yet, you can find some place or a wall that you can designate for your small temple or place of worship. Of course, I know of innumerable families who live in 4 and 5 bedroom apartments and still do not manage to find the right place and space for their temple and their holy flame. Sad but true. And truth, my son, is often absurd and doesn't have to have a reason or a meaning. Anyway, my son, with those long curly hair, light your flame and sit in front of it. I recommend you do this when alone, and especially when it is slightly dark, as then the intensity of the flame is far more. That means early in the morning, he is saying. Also make certain that the flame is not flickering or dancing too much. A steady flame is what we need, and that is best achieved by shutting the fan or for a while closing the door and window. Thus you sit in partial darkness and that becomes your cave. And you stare at the flame, which is your fire. So you sit in front of the flame and for a while just look at it, just see it, observe its colors, observe its shape. Let the flame be nice and strong, not just some small dot of light coming out of the wick. It should be burning bright. After a minute or so, imagine you are in the flame. Fire is virtually creation, and thus fire is the form of creator. Ancient sages called fire the goddess Devi, the universal mother. Imagine you're in the womb of the universal mother for a while. Just be in her womb. Thank you. Safe and sound and protected in the womb of Devi, the universal mother, the life force for all creation. Then pray to Devi, to the universal mother, or the life force of all creation to cleanse your body, mind, soul, aura, vibrations, and channels. Every drop of blood, DNA, and cell from all negativity, ill health, darkness. Tell her to remove all darkness from your life, in your life, and all around your life. Pray to her to fill you up with her warmth, her radiance, her glow, her presence, and her protection. Tell her to lighten up your path with her glow so that you never go astray into darkness. If you're feeling depressed, then pray to her to burn away all your gloom and depression and sadness and fill you up with positive energy and well being. If you're feeling weak, ask her to fill you up with strength. Whatever ails you, pray to fire to burn it away and brighten your life with what you feel you lack and need the most. Continue to dwell into the light. Continue to bathe in its pure glory. See her protective energy around you and your aura. Her protection and energy will surround you and your aura and thus protect you from vibrations and negative energy that dwells around you, within you, and is projected towards you. Being in the womb of light is a beautiful, serene, and rejuvenating experience. There will be times you will not want to come out of it, come out of her protective embrace. When you feel it is time to come out of her luminous sanctuary, then imagine yourself returning to your body, bow to the flame. Do a namaste by folding your palms together and thank her for allowing you to connect with her and for blessing you with her energy and protection. Now, son, you can do this meditation not only for yourself, but for your loved ones too. First, connect with the flame, be in her womb. First, say the prayer that I have told you, the body and mind, soul, aura, vibration, etc. Do it for yourself. Everything first needs cleansing and protection. After you have allowed the divine light to enter every cell in your being, then I imagine your loved ones along with you in the flame too. For instance, you feel somebody is not well. You imagine that first person with you in the flame and then repeat the entire prayer for that person. Ask Agni, Devi, goddess, fire, divine light to cleanse the person, fill the person with her energy and light. The entire body, mind, soul prayer. Despite your funny looks, you are very intelligent. So for today, this is it, masters. So very beautifully we saw different how one can become medium or channeling channel you can channel how you can fill in with divine energy by just scratching out your ego, the I-ness. Next, we saw how fire can help us. So anyone who is interested to share any of your experience, masters, or any doubt till now? Yes, masters. Yes, anybody? Or should we start up with the meditation? Yes. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. We can hear you.
Yeah. Should we start with the meditation for today? Then, if no doubts.
Yes, I'm good with it. Thank you.
Okay, masters. Let's go into a meditation. Today we shall do this fire meditation. I shall show you. I shall guide you. This I have experimented myself, and so many people have taken benefit of this fire meditation. Masters, close your eyes, fingers into fingers, your legs crossed. Can you hear me? I hope you can all hear me. If you're wearing a spect, keep it aside. Now, masters, listen to me. Today, we will form a circle here and we will light the lamp. Imagine all of you holding your hands. Take little time to hold your hands and get connected to each other. Take a deep breath and exhale. Take in all the positivity, breathe out all the negativity within. Yes, masters. One more breath. Breathe in, breathe out slowly and steadily. As you breathe out, all your negativity is just out of you. Now, masters, imagine yourself inside a pyramid today. Imagine a beautiful pyramid and it is very dark. All of you are holding a lamp, a diya, which is in front of you. Keep it wherever you wish. Imagine now yourself to be seated in your favorite place. And sitting there, you can imagine the pyramid over you. Sit there and slowly take a matchstick and light the lamp. As you light the lamp, masters, pray that all the negativity, the darkness, the gloom, whatever you're carrying is driven away. As you light the lamp, now sit before the lamp, stare it into the lamp, stare the flame, stare at the flame. Can you see the orange yellowish flame above? And as you keep staring at this beautiful diya, you will see a blue light within the flame. Above is yellowish orange. Inside you can see dark blue color. Now stare into that. As you stare, go back to your mother's womb. Feel yourself inside the womb of the mother. It's a universal mother, and she knows the best for you. Also, when you are in your womb of your mother, you know you have the trust, faith that you're being protected, you're safe. Now feel all these feelings for yourself. All of us know we are always safe inside the womb of our mothers. Feel it. As you feel safe now, now pray for the cleansing of your soul, your mind. Let all the negativity that is within you, that is fear, guilt, jealous, anger, hatred, greed, criticism, judgment. Let these negative emotions born in this masters. Slowly feel that all these negative emotions are getting burned. Now, as the negativity is driven away, ask for protection, to be filled with positivity. The positivity is compassion, love, kindness. When you have surrendered yourself to your mother, there is no need to worry, no need to feel fear, no need of insecurity, no need to think about your past nor your future. Just be here, masters. As your body, your mind, your soul is cleansed, fill yourself, breathe deep, and take in all the positivity through your breath and fill it. Take time, imagine. Now you're filled with divine energy. Remember, when you're filled and you're connected to the divinity, there is no I, masters. There is only place for you, that is the God. So allow the God to connect with you. As you feel secure, safe, fearless now, the same way you can ask for your loved ones, maybe your children, your wife, your parents, or the one who needs your energies right now. Remember, it's a caution. You cannot use it for negativity. You cannot use this for your meditation or protections in a wrong way. Now, imagine you want your children to be protected the same way as you are protected. Now, take the name of your child and invite the soul to be with you, to be holding hand, hold their hand, and imagine them to be in the same flame. Now utter the same prayer that let the darkness be gone. Let the divinity, craven. Now, can you see the blue flame in an egg shape around your child? Feel it, masters. If you have one more child, you can take the name of the child, invite that soul, utter the same prayer, and imagine this blue flame around them also. This is the way to ask for protection each and every day before you leave your house or they leave the house. Or anybody who is sick, you can call for the soul and ask for ill health to be driven or whatever is best for them. Let it be. Ask for the strength for them. If somebody is in depression, ask for gloominess to be driven away. Never feel alone. That is the reason Sai Baba has always stressed the importance of lighting a diya. If you go to Shirdi, there is Nanda Deepa, we call 24/7. The lamps in the Dwarkamai are lit. Also, there is Duni, fire. I remember in Sai Lilamrita reading this, and one of my guru saying to me, whenever you visit Sai's temple, buy that packet of dupa that you get. Sit before that dhuni, just cut the packet, and while you put it into the dhuni, pray that your ego be grounded always. Let that I never overpower you. I have always done that. Always burn your negativity whenever you visit the temple, any temple. So it is very important to have the lamp lit either in the morning or in the evening, at least twice a day, masters, because it keeps away all the darkness of the mind, darkness of the soul, darkness of the body. Whenever you look at it, remember you can't think negative about anybody or yourself. That is how, as you see it, you remind yourself that you're here to light the lamp and spread the light and drive away the darkness, and not here to manipulate things. Live it. Live all of this. Purify your soul, because we read today, unless our negativity we let go of, that is greed, jealousy, criticism, judgment, hate, all this, unless we let go of all this, the soul will keep weeping, masters. That is not the purpose of the soul. Soul has not come to manipulate things. It has come to grow itself, ascend itself. The more you Be with such feelings. It will take longer time for the soul to grow. Understand, our only purpose is soul ascension, masters. Don't dwell in all this. We have seen, I have heard from my guru, unless we cleanse all this negativity, our soul will not be able to go peacefully into other realms. Or I will be carrying all this with me, all this negativity. So burn this negativity each and every day before the flame. This diya, whenever you look at, it should be a reminder that you cannot think negatively about anything, about anybody. And that is how you start purifying your soul. Get connected to the essence of your soul. Allow it to grow. Otherwise, it will take many more lifetimes, masters, if you dwell into this. Yes, till now we were ignorant. I do understand. Also, we heard. We had always this question, why me? Why should I only do this when all others are dwelling in this? Remember, you have been blessed to be on this path. You are the chosen one. बूंद बूंद से बनता है सागर. Drop by drop makes the ocean. So don't ask why me, masters. Feel blessed, feel happy that you are the chosen one. You are that small droplet who is going to make a big ocean. So let's do this for Mother Nature, for our own self. Don't do it for anyone else. Do it for your own soul growth, your own soul ascension, masters. Now, when you're coming out, just feel your physicality or your physical body, or from the lamp flame. The same way that we get out of the meditation, the same way you can feel. Take time, masters. Let's take few minutes of silence. Feel yourself. This is the way to protect yourself, to protect your loved ones, and all the creatures. I feel in our Indian culture, we have seen Homa, Havan happening everywhere. The only reason was to purify ourselves, our within, our inner self. When there is collective energy, the atmosphere immediately purifies. When you sit in a group for a havan, your intentions all of your intentions are same, vibrating at the same frequency. That is why when you get out of that haven or home, you feel so energized. The real essence of all this is to purify our soul, our mind, our body, let go of all the negativity from us. Now, masters, take 3 deep breaths. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in slowly all the energies. Breathe out slowly. Breathe in, breathe out. Now, start feeling yourself. Come back. Feel yourself. Feel your body. Rub your palm. Put it on your eyes. And on the count of 3, open your eyes slowly. 3, 2, 1. Thank you for being here for this meditation, for this class. And thanks from Spiritual Tablet platform. I thank one and all. Any doubts if you have, you can ask. Anything you need to share, you can share, masters. Ashok sir, are you there? Any doubts, masters? Anything you want to ask?
Thank you, Naina ma'am, for the beautiful session. And about candle meditation, I heard that it's good for the eyes, for the eyesight.
Okay.
I heard it somewhere. Thank you.
Thank you so much. See,
Like this.
whenever, somebody is facing fear, sometimes when we, try to imagine things and try to create fear for ourselves, this is the best way to get out of it. This fire or lighting the diya and sitting for meditation will help get out of all negativity.
Thank you, ma'am. Did you had any personal experience, ma'am, with the candle meditation?
Yeah, I still do it, ma'am. Every day when I wake up, before I do start the meditation, I sit in front of the diya. This I have been, when I read this book, it was long back actually. First reading was long back, means Beam group. I attended a book reading by someone else, Beam group. So there it was told. And during that time, it was Corona time. And I really needed this. I was in depression then. So I started doing this. I still do it till date.
Nice.
Every day, whether you take bath, if you are pure, I after I wake up, I get freshen up and then go light the diya, sit for 2 minutes, then I come back and I sit for meditation.
Very nice.
Yeah, very beautiful. You will really feel very energized.
Yeah, when I was small, like until I was like around until like my marriage, daily morning and evening I used to, at least once a day I used to lit the candle near the god like Hanuman and sit in front for some time, like
Okay.
regular ritual we do, like
Uh-huh.
puja we do, right? I
Yeah.
used to do that, and yeah, it feels very nice.
Yeah. Yes, this gives lot of energy, ma'am. So unimaginable, actually. Even if you're feeling depressed, if you just sit, look into that flame, imagine yourself in the womb, and just you will come to a peace, calmness.
Yes.
Yeah, I never knew why. Always till 2 years back, I didn't know why dhuni was there in each and every temple of Sai. You have seen,
Mhm.
so many
Yes.
temples. There'll be 24/7 dhuni. Dhuni we call that, where
Mhm.
they burn the woods. Okay,
Okay.
so that is 24/7 in whichever temple you visit. Even here in my place, there are two places which I visit temple. There also I see that dhoni, but I had never had that answer until 2 years back. When I read this book, that is when I understood, you know,
Mhm.
why it is so important to have that dhoni. Dhuni is
Yes.
nothing but each and every time, most of the time it will drive out any darkness from within.
Mhm.
And all the time you have to remind yourself, this ego plays lot of tricks,
Mhm.
within us. It is
Mhm.
because of this so many misunderstandings or whatever, there are
Yeah.
differences. All this is created because of this I.
Yeah.
You know,
Today, when we were explaining this session, I was remembering the Harshad Varga
Shadurga.
session we had, and
Yeah,
also in 10 traffic signals, we thought like we only get what we can handle. The God only
yeah,
anything what we can. So everything is possible, like in that context.
yeah,
So I was able to recollect some of the sessions we had.
yeah,
Thank you for the beautiful knowledge session. Like though we know some things, we kind of
yeah,
it's good to remind us
yeah,
regularly so that we'll continuously be mindful of keeping them in check.
yeah,
And also it's great to know, like since childhood we always lit the diya near the god, but knowing the significance, it feels really good. Thank you, ma'am.
yeah. Hi, masters. Uh, can you see my screen?
Yes, it's going off. It's coming and going off. And I can see the, is it puppy or?
Yeah, it is Poppy. I want to introduce all of you to my little daughter who cooperated today. I thought, I had put her in one room and I thought she will not recognize my voice if I sit outside. But it didn't happen so. She once I started talking, she started, barking. So I thought it is better I be with her in the same room. See, her
That's
name is
nice.
Dora. Hi. So this is
So
my
we-
little daughter who has come into my life.
Mhm.
See, so
Thank you.
I thought that she will not allow me to do, but I'm so very happy and very
Mhm.
grateful to her. Love you, masters. Love all
Thank
of you.
you.
Thanks and gratitude for all of you for being here today. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Good
Thank
night.
you. Yes.
Have a good day.
Yes, ma'am. Thanks from the spiritual tab. We shall end the session today. Thank you.